I'm not hearing. Do you hear me? No, I can hear. Screen.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, honey. Okay, guys. I sent you an email with some of the abstracts. I received 5 of the abstracts that I left for homework. And I am going to send you today the first evaluation on abstracts. So you have time to send it to me up to Friday. Okay. If you can send it to me on Thursday, that'll be great. Okay. So maybe I can have the results on Friday. But if you send it to me Friday, obviously I won't be able to do it. But it's going to be exactly the same thing that you have already done. There is nothing new about it. You have to work with your partner to send me the abstract. And let's see. And we need to check this one. This is the last abstract before the evaluation, and see how you did it. This is very particular because the author is talking about 2 things at the same time. And actually, one thing, if you pay attention to the text, one thing doesn't have much to do with the other. And you had to pay a real good attention to the text in order to make the separation of one thing and the other. The topic on this text was Johnny Appleseed. And there is even a song about Johnny Appleseed. Well, who can start reading?
I can.
Great, thank you.
I do. All right. Give me a second, please.
Sure.
Yeah. In 1801, a 26-year-old man named John Chapman wandered the sparsely populated western country, but was still 2 years away from becoming the state of Ohio. Chapman had a simple purpose. Wherever he found suitable soil, he planted apple seeds. To the zealots of the Ohio frontier, Chapman became known as Johnny Appleseed, a strange man who wore odd clothes and went barefoot. He was a pacifist in time of warfare and brutality against the Indians, treating Indians and settlers alike with respect. He killed no animals and was a vegetarian.
Mhm.
He even opposed pruning his apple trees because he did not want to cause them pain.
Okay, thank you. Pay attention to the year, please, Felipe. It's 1801. Okay, because it
1801. Okay.
because it sounded like 81.
Okay.
1801. And the other one, planted. Remember, when you have a T is always ted, planted. Same when you have a
Planted.
D is dead. Okay, ted and dead. And the other one, became. This one, make sure you pronounce the
Became.
became because it sounds like present and it's a
Okay.
past. Thank you, honey. Let's go to the other paragraph.
Me, Dorian.
Thank you, Dorian.
Chapman spent 40 years wandering as Johnny Appleseed, journeying by foot and canoe through Ohio and Indiana. He planted seeds, sold and gave away apple saplings, and exchanged knowledge of medicinal plants with Indians and settlers. He prepared the way for farms and towns by planting apple seeds in clearings along rivers and constructing simple wooden fence to keep animals out of his primitive orchards.
Thank you. Just one word, actually two. This word, wandering, is, you got to say it with a wa, wandering means that he's roaming around, right? With no definite purpose. You gotta think that this was more like homeless man, right? He was walking barefoot. So that's why the author is describing two different situations here. And the other, Dorian, the other word is wooden, wooden. Okay, I, I'm going back to the word wandering. Wandering is when you're roaming around. And the other one with an O, wandering, is when you're asking yourself something. That's when you're wandering, all right? Two different things. So the pronunciation is key here. Wandering, one, and the other one is wandering, like one, like the number, wandering. Okay, the next one. Somebody else for the third. Thank you, Maria Carolina.
The agricultural development that Chapman anticipated was in fact marching across the eastern half of the continent at an ever-increasing pace. When Chapman started his apple seeding in 1801, the population of Ohio was 4,500 and 9,000, sorry, and 90% of the land was still covered with snow, with elm, ash, maple, oak, and hickory trees. By the time of Chapman's death in 1845, the state population had reached 2 million, and more than 40% of the land had been cleared of trees and converted to farms. Not until 1880 did the cutting of trees subside. By then, 3/4 of Ohio had been cleared, and people were becoming aware of the limit of expansion. Only then did they begin to take seriously the tree-loving ideas of Johnny Appleseed, who has become the subject of folk tales.
Thank you. Okay, let's pay attention on the date also, 1801, okay, because it also sounded like 81, 1801.
Okay.
The pronunciation of reached, let me see where it's here, reached. When you get the ch sound, you finish with a T sound, reached, okay? And
Okay.
cutting, here, cutting.
Cutting.
The past here, had, because you said has, had. That's it.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Maria Carolina. Let's go with the multiple choices. You're going to have multiple choices also for the evaluation, but these multiple choices will have only 5% of the grade, but you still have to answer them. Everything adds to the grade. Okay, let's see. The phrase sparsely populated in paragraph 1 means that
Few people live.
C, right? Only few people. That means sparsely, very dispersed. Number 2 is that the word pacifist in paragraph 1 is closest in meaning to
B.
Yes, peace advocate, right? So if you needed to, if you were going to refer to the pacifist of the character, you could use the word peaceful, right? As a synonym. So you don't repeat the same words. Number 3, Johnny Appleseed performed all of the following activities except
C.
Letter C.
Yeah, he was right. He was a vegetarian, so he didn't give away meat. Number 4, it says the word marching in paragraph 3 is closest in meaning to
B.
B.
advancing. Very good. Okay, and number 5, we have the word subside in paragraph 3 is closest in meaning to
D.
decrease. Very good. Yes. Okay. As I told you, let's go back to the text because this is what we're focusing right now. What are the 2 situations that are being explained here? What did you identify? First of all, what is the main topic?
The character Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed. Okay, and what does the text say about this man? What was the characteristic of this man?
Peaceful man, um, lover of the nature, and the uh, native people in the ground.
Okay, so it says that he was a peaceful man. Was he rich?
No,
No,
He was rather poor, right? When you see here, he wore odd clothes. That means the clothes that not all the regular people wear, right? And he didn't even have shoes to walk on. What was the area of this man that he lived by?
Ohio.
Ohio to Indiana and Indiana.
Right, he was living in those because in that moment there was not a clear division of the two, but he lived in that area. It doesn't mean that he was a traveler. That's where he walked around, right? And he was going from one place to the other, but that was his area. So he wasn't a traveler, as I saw in one of the texts that you wrote. Now, what did this man do? What was his habit?
He planted apple seeds wherever he can.
Yeah, wherever he was going, no definite place. He was going by riversides or wherever he went, he was planting apple seeds, right? And this man was he a farmer? I saw that in
mm,
several of the
No,
abstracts said that he was a farmer. No, he wasn't a farmer.
he wasn't
He,
not a he wasn't a farmer.
no, and if you notice here, it says his primitive orchards. He had very little plantation of what he was planting for himself, right? That he protected with wooden fences, but he wasn't making wooden fences for Ohio and Indiana. That's what I detected that you didn't perceive, many of the abstract didn't perceive, and provided an importance to this character that he didn't have. Okay, so we have that he's peaceful with the Indians and peaceful with the settlers. He had similar character or similar behavior with both of them. And he was poor, definitely. He was poor and he was planting apple seeds all over, wherever he went. What is the other aspect of this text?
the development of the place,
Yes,
in this case Ohio.
right, the state of Ohio, right? So it's telling you, at the same time that it's telling you the story of this poor man, the writer is also telling you how was the development and the pace that this entire community or the state of Ohio grew at that time. So it's giving you facts, the number of people from this number to this number in this period of time in the context of this man. Did this poor man had any incidence in the growth of this state? According to the text?
Yes, because he adopted a new order of farms growth.
No, he didn't. He didn't. He was a poor man planting everywhere. He was telling you what is happening, two things that are happening, and he's giving you a point of reference of the passing of this man, of the life of this man, at the same time that the state was growing. But this man, had he existed or not existed, the state would have grown and the farms would have been divided and the cutting of the trees would have been exactly the same, whether he had existed or not. This is a resource of writing where you can put, instead of putting a timeline, you refer to a character that existed in that period of time, and at the same time, you are relating what is happening meanwhile. While this person is existing,
Mm,
this whole thing is happening at the same time. Well, this man became a character in the folk tales, and that is the only importance because he was planting seeds all over. So that means that in this area there were a lot of apple trees. And if we want to highlight the importance of this man in this story, is the existence of the apple trees, and that's it. But you have to be able, when you're reading, to separate and not create a new information highlighting the character when the character is only used as a tool for a timeline. That's it.
mm.
All right. Okay, you got to think of this because you may use this figure of writing also when you are writing. Let's go with the other text. It was more technical. Who can read?
I can.
Okay, great.
The origin of the universe. It is origin or origin?
Origin. Jin.
Origin. That's good. Okay. Astronomers believe that the universe began with a large, dense mass of gas consisting mainly of hydrogen, the simplest of all the naturally occurring chemical elements. The mass of hydrogen was very hot and caused intense light and much expanded motion. As the universe expanded, its light became dimmer, yet even now some of the primeval light may be present.
Okay, thank you.
The original. Okay.
Let's go with the pronunciation up to there, please, Sebastian. Hydrogen. Hydro. I think we've seen this word before. Hydrogen. Cost. Remember, when you have a sound, you finish with a D. Cost. And dimmer. Pay attention when you have double consonants. You use the original sound, E sound, instead of an I sound. If you only had one consonant here, then the pronunciation would be dimmer. Okay? So because you have two consonants, then it changes to E, dimmer. Okay? Primeval, primeval. Okay, thank you. Do you want to continue reading or should we ask somebody else to read?
Sure, I may continue.
Okay, great, thanks.
The original universe underwent a physical transition that gradually differentiated it into galaxies, stars, and planets. As the original mass of gas expanded and cooled, large clouds separated themselves from the parent mass. Gravity played an important role in this mechanism. Matter is subject to gravity, yet matter is also the cause of gravity since it is matter's mass that determines the strength of the gravitational force.
Good. Thank you. Just one word, determines. The last one, huh? Determines. Even though I just explained that you have, like here, this word is an exception. Determines. Okay, that was it. Okay, thank you. A lot of description there, right? So a lot of the description we don't need for the abstract. Next, please, somebody else?
Here,
Thank you.
scientists believe that the origin mass of gas in the universe was not completely
Completely.
uniform, and there were some regions that were slightly denser and capable of generating stronger gravitational fields than others. Since gravity tends to pull matter together, the denser regions tended to become even more compact. Thus, a small variation in the original mass evolved into denser clouds that gradually separate from the expanding parent mass. From these clouds, the galaxies were formed.
Okay, formed. Okay, we got several words here, Dorian. Pay attention to the word original. Okay, original, remember, the final AL is always ol, original, and then we have regions, regions, gravitational, stronger, denser, even, and we had more, separated, TED, remember final TED is always TED, and we had one more, capable. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Darian. And somebody else.
I can.
Thank you, Jasmine.
At the end of the first phase of the universe, a great number of clouds had become separate inside that could start their own independent evolutions. These turbulent clouds,
Yeah.
inside galaxies, contained variations that grew in the importance over time. The clouds divide into smaller and smaller cloudlets that gravity caused to contract. The increase in pressures from these contractions caused the temperature to rise until two clouds began to glow as individual luminous stars.
Thank you. Okay. Let's go with some of the words. Huge, this one. Clouds. Entities. Cloudlets. And we had that twice. And that would be it. Maybe I missed another one. Okay, thank you, Jasmine. Let's go with the questions and then we'll go to the text. The word primal in paragraph 1 is closest in meaning to original. Number 7, the word transition in paragraph 2 is closest in meaning to
A.
change.
The
to change. The word uniform in paragraph 3 is closest in meaning to
D.
D.
consistent
Consistent.
in a uniform manner, right? The word compact in paragraph 3 is closest in meaning to
Dense.
dense. Good. And the other one, the word luminous in paragraph 4, I'm going to the next one. Luminous in paragraph 4 is closest in meaning to. That's very similar to Spanish, right? Luminous.
A.
A, right, light emitting.
A.
Yes, yes, very good. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to share something else. My
Miss, I
answer.
have a question.
Sure, what's that?
I saw my correction
Yeah.
of text in text 2 and don't have commentary. That's good or bad? Or
Well, maybe one comment?
no,
Nothing. Okay, I'm
nothing.
going to double check. Okay.
Okay, Miss, thank you.
Because I always put a comment, whether it's good or it's bad. But I always put
Yes.
something.
Okay.
Okay, I more or less I told you already what this was about, right? And the topic here was Appleseed. Even the title was Johnny Appleseed. Oh, this number 2. There, John Chapman. So it says John Chapman was a simple, I get the word simple because of the description of the odd clothes and barefoot. Peaceful man because of a pacifist, peaceful man who related, remember that he had a good relationship with the Indians and the settlers in similar fashion. Look at this expression, similar fashion, the same way, the same matter, likewise, and so on. Similar fashion. It doesn't mean that the word fashion is only for fashion as we know it as styles of clothing or the fashion of the trend. It also means manner or way, okay? Similar fashion. In the area between Ohio and Indiana. That's where he lived. He had the habit of planting apple seeds on his path. This is another expression. His path wherever he went, right? That is how he gained the nickname of Johnny Appleseed. And after his death, turned into the character of folk tales. That was the main topic. So I'm referring to all that. I took everything that was in parallel, but wasn't the topic, because the topic was the man in this case. Even though the author is showing me the growth of the state of Ohio, but the growth of the state of Ohio didn't have much relation with the topic that was John Chapman. Let's go to number 2. It says, according to the astrology as a science, the universe was formed by the concentration of gases, mainly hydrogen. These masses of gas condensed by gravity, yielding to structures, stars, and planets with their respective evolution. If you notice, I didn't put any description that the author used, right, in detail. I'm just extracting. Okay? And that was it. I'm not going to talk about grading. I'm going to talk about grading on Friday. So we are going to start, I would like you to start looking for a piece of news or look for something that would be your topic of grading, because we're going to do that on Friday. I would like you to have the ideas of what you're going to be grading about. And then we're going to start mapping, making the structure first before we grade, because we cannot start grading immediately. First, we got to get the ideas, the idea of the structure of paragraph 1, the structure of paragraph 2, 3, and how we're going to conclude. But we need the big thing first. What am I going to write about? So I want you to start looking for information, gather information, and we are going to use it on Friday. Do we have any questions so far? About the
Miss,
evaluation? Yes.
this
Yes, just
not the information is about the thesis, right?
no. First, we're going to write to start giving the structure first. We're
Okay.
going to start with simple, and then we're going to think of a thesis because thesis is more complex. First, get the structure on how you're going to structure the thing, and then little by little, and then we're going to talk about the thesis. Thesis is a little more complex because it's usually hard for people to understand what a thesis is. All right, especially academic thesis.
Okay, is this the partner or alone?
Everything is going to be with the partner except the book.
The book.
Yes.
Okay, Miss.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And the evaluation that you're going to do today and deliver it on Thursday, hopefully, is always with your partner. Yes, you were going to ask me something, Maria.
No, it's that.
Okay.
The one is the
Delivery.
Yes.
The delivery hopefully doesn't have to be Thursday, but if you can send it to me on Thursday, I can evaluate it on Thursday night and you can have the results on Friday. But obviously, if you send it to me on Friday, I won't have time to check it immediately. All right?
All right.
Anything else, guys? I'm going to upload. It's only 2 texts. It's very similar to these ones. I was going to send you 3, but then I said, no, it's the first evaluation. So let's try with that one first. All right?
Okay, Miss.
Good, thank you.
Miss,
Right.
questions.
Yeah.
The information is Friday, but I don't class Friday.
Oh, you don't have classes on Friday. That's right. Well, anyway, but I can have the grades.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So we're still the same. Either Thursday or Friday. That's why I'm not giving you chances, but I can have the results on Friday if you send it to me on Thursday. Okay, and we can discuss it on Tuesday
Very
next
good.
week. Okay.
Okay.
See you
Thank
guys.
you, Miss.
Bye.
I
Oh,
see
we have classes tomorrow, don't we?
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
Yes.
so the topic for tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. See you guys. Be good.
Bye.
Bye, Miss.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, honey. Bye.